Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast. Again, I'm your host, have been, always will be, Bo Walker. And I'm joined by the faceless man, once again, back from the good old city of Kansas City, Mr. James Piazza. He's having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm also joined by Mark and Jason, and soon-to-be Pops, Kyle Sutphin.
I'm having a baby this weekend.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
he
think
is.
Kyle's already a dad. He gets the physical reward of being a dad soon.
Yeah. Kyle, all right, real quick, before we get started with our episode, hit us with a dad joke.
Oh, I don't have one. I'm not actually a dad yet. So like
Okay.
I feel like those superpowers kick in like when she's born.
Yeah, like what do you call a snail on a ship? A
What?
snailer.
And that's how we lost all of our viewership.
That was terrible.
When you said you
Ask
wanted
me
a dad
this
joke,
question
that was a dad
again.
joke.
That was a terrible dad joke.
That's fair.
But this week, the episode that we are going to bring to you is one that Mr. James Piazza presented to us. And Jason named it. We are going to be running down the Gauntlet. All four of the major sports in the United States: baseball, hockey, basketball, football. And then a miscellaneous category. We're naming our top 5 favorite and our least 5 favorite. All of those categories. So it's going to be, I mean, we're going to rattle these off here. So what do we want to start with? We want to start with baseball?
Baseball's in season, and that's the list I'm making right now. So
All right, we're on it.
All right. You want me to start? I have my list pulled up.
All right, do it.
All right. So top 5 for baseball. Not going to be a shock here. I got the Pirates at number 1. I got the Yankees at number 2 because I didn't have Pirates baseball when I was a kid.
Are we doing commentary on this or no?
Yeah.
I mean, you can. I'm just saying, I didn't have Pirates baseball when I was a kid, so I was a Yankees fan.
Bo's just a bandwagon fan for every sport.
He's a Yankees fan. He's a North Carolina basketball fan. He's an Ohio State football fan.
Then I have the Guardians. Because Cleveland, they're local. They're from Ohio. Then I have the Tampa Bay Rays because I've always liked their colors, and the Mariners because I've liked their colors. Okay,
Right,
that's it. Now my bottom 5. I have the Reds, the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Cubs, and the Astros. So
kind of who I
literally
thought it would be.
Some Yankees fan don't even have the Red Sox in your bottom 5.
That is true. That is true.
I don't really care about the Red Sox because, I mean, they were relevant for how many years? Just like the Pirates. But I had to put all of the Pirates' divisional rivals, and then the Astros cheat. So that's why I put the Astros.
Yeah.
I mean, the Red Sox, I could give 2 shits about the Red Sox. Next.
I'll go. So, also not surprising, my number 1 is also the Pirates.
Woo!
Probably equally as not surprising as my number 2 is the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Then this next one, as Bo also said, because they're in Ohio, got the Guardians. And then my next 2, one of which is because they're in Ohio, and the other one is simply because this was my brother's favorite player, and he played for both these teams. So I went with the Reds and the Mariners because of good old Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay, all right.
The Mariners
That's
are
a good
one, but how the Reds?
I'm a Joey Votto fan, so
you might as well just say you're an Aroldis Chapman fan too. The hell is that?
Sorry, I'm not super into baseball. I mean, I like baseball, but just wanted to let everybody know I'm the fruit roll up guy.
Okay, hold on. Before
can we get a clip in there when?
The clip's already on.
The clip's on our Facebook page. We'll Jason, if you can edit it in, that would be fantastic.
I will.
But
I'm just
for reference,
mark, mid for roll up the mark.
So just for reference, we're at a Pirates game on last Saturday. Mark, we had There were 5 of us. We had 4 seats together. Mark's like, I'm going to sit out in the outfield and drink a couple beers. I was like, all right. So I went to go get food. I'm chowing down on my gyro, and I get a text. I need you out here. I'm going to be famous. Don't tell anyone.
And what does
like,
Bo do? Tells his wife.
She was sitting next to me. She saw my phone. I didn't tell her.
You told her.
I did tell her.
She ratted you out.
I tell her everything. I tell her everything. Anyhow, so I hightail it to center field where Mark is sitting. And he's sitting at a table by himself. And I was like, this motherfucker just wanted me to come drink with him. Nope. Here comes the dude from intermission.
See, now you're missing parts of you're missing parts of the story. But I
tell it from my side of the story?
No, because you're wrong. So you did come out to center field, and then you sit down. You didn't think in your head this motherfucker's lying. You go, you motherfucker.
I did.
You just lied to me to get someone to come sit out here with you, didn't you? And I said, no. I swear to God, I said he told me to sit right here, and at the end of the first inning, he was going to come get me. It was in the break of the second inning. So
and then lo and behold,
still didn't believe me. Then at the end of the first inning, he comes back with this Chevy T-shirt. I think it's in there, and he said, "Hey, I know you're a big guy, but do you think you can squeeze into this shirt so that because you have to wear this for the So there's my shirt that I had to wear." He said, "You think you can squeeze into that shirt because it's our sponsor and you have to wear it?" And I was like, "Bet." And then went over and ate a fruit roll up, and the rest is history.
You didn't just eat a fruit roll up. You threw that fruit roll up down your throat, dude. You fucking engulfed that fruit roll up.
The girl that went up against me, she said, "Hey, I need you to let me win because my friends are going to record me." And I said, "I can't. My wife is here, and she'll never let me live it down if I lose."
You don't slurp down that fruit by the foot.
I wasn't even a I mean, it was over before it even started. She cheated. She started eating it. She started eating it.
She started early. You won halfway through. You stopped and looked at her.
Mm-hmm.
She pushed you. Your wife stood up on the other side of the stadium and said, "Don't touch my man." It was a great time. Mark had the crowd pumped up, and he was getting fist bumps. And side story, our high school band played the national anthem that night. So we, as good band geeks, went over to see our former band director.
I was going to say, did you know that they were playing?
No.
Yeah, we saw it.
Well, you knew on Friday night, but I didn't know.
Yeah, Kyle and I saw him the night before we went out for wings. But we're on our way over, and Jason and I are walking, and we lose Mark. Now, granted, it's kind of packed. So we're like, okay, he might have got stopped in traffic. Nope. He stopped to take selfies with people.
It was literally,
said, "Hey, you're the fruit roll-up
It was literally
guy."
my like. I mean, it was literally the one time I'll ever be like semi-famous in my entire life. It was wonderful. It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, people might post those pictures on their respective social media to be like, "Look at the fat dude that ate a fruit roll-up from a skinny girl," and I'm even fine with that because I was famous for a hot second.
Yeah. All right. Give us your bottom. Give us your bottom 5.
Okay, so some of these I couldn't really come up with 5, so I had to come up with a justification for each of my bottom 5. So my number 1 for my least favorite MLB team is the White Sox because they're just a ripoff of the Red Sox name. Then it's the Yankees because I literally hate the Yankees.
So are the Reds.
Well, that's fair.
Reds were literally the Red Stockings until they became the Reds.
Well,
I think
the Reds are on my top because they're in Ohio. Then the A's because it's literally a letter. I understand it's supposed to be the Athletics, which is also a boring name. So the A's,
it's a letter.
Yeah. Then the Padres.
Not because the A's absolutely suck.
Well, they do suck, but I'm not going by how good they are currently. I'm just if I like them or dislike them. Then the Padres, I don't really have a justification for that one. I just didn't like the name. And then the Tigers because they're in Michigan and fuck anything in Michigan.
Okay.
I don't like baseball. I'll watch it. I enjoy to watch.
That's great.
Hashtag Babe Ruth.
Jason?
So my top 5 favorite teams in the MLB: the Pirates, the Guardians, the Angels, the Blue Jays, and the Cardinals. The Pirates and Guardians, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Angels, is because Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. Blue Jays.
Okay.
Blue Jays. I was a big Roy Halladay fan back in the day. Yeah, rest in peace. And now they have Vlad Jr. and Bo
Vlad.
Bichette. And the Cardinals is because my great grandpa was a massive Cardinals fan.
Okay, you kind of repaired it into that one. We won't hold that against you.
My top 5 most hated teams: the Giants, the Cubs, the Yankees, the Astros, and the Dodgers.
Pretty similar to my bottom.
The only one I was gonna. What was your first one?
The Giants.
That was the only one that kind of threw me off. That I was like, oh, I wonder why he hates the Giants.
Why, you don't like Barry Bonds?
No.
You don't like Hunter Pence?
No, I don't like Hunter Pence.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's because all the championships they've won, over the course of 2010s. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's. I don't know. In all honesty, it might be from them beating the Pirates, whatever year that was in the wild card.
Yeah, I was at that game. That game sucked.
Yeah.
Who was the pitcher that had the real funky windup for the Giants?
Tim Lincecum.
Yeah. Lincecum, yeah.
Madison.
I actually made a bet with Mr. Stevens, our former band director, that the Giants would win the World Series. So we made a bet, and somehow I ended up having to wear a Giants hat.
Oh, Billy Boy getting 2 shout-outs in this pod.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Uncle Billy Bob Stevens, baby. James or Kyle, one of you two go next.
Yeah,
Rock,
James,
paper, scissors.
yes.
Okay. We're still doing baseball, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Like pretty much everyone on this list, number 1's Pittsburgh. 2 is obvious because I live here. It's Kansas City. It's the Royals, and they're a very easy team to root for, except for the fact that they suck. If they didn't, they're an awesome team to pull and support. They're just terrible. Cleveland, because they're close to where I'm from, and then I have no real justifications other than the fact that I like these cities and teams. But Baltimore and Tampa for baseball. And then my bottom 5 are can't think of the name. The Phillies, the Philadelphia Phillies, obviously. Yankees, I can't stand the Yankees. I can't stand the Astros even more. The Dodgers are worse, and the Cubs are at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, honestly, out of all of the hating that I did on the Dodgers with my brother-in-law, I'm surprised I did not put them in there.
Yeah.
I just hate the Astros more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fucking cheaters.
All right. I'll run through this real quick. Favorite, number 5 favorite, Colorado Rockies. I just like Coors Field.
Yes.
That's fair.
Number 4, the Red Sox, because I hate the Yankees, and the Red Sox are the arch rival. 3, the Giants. I love that stadium. I love Covey Cove there and everything. 2 is the Guardians. I'll always root for the Guardians. Indians are the Indians. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Correct? And then 1's the Pirates. And then least favorite, 5 least favorite is the Cubs. I don't like the Cubs, but they're, whatever. They're the Cubs. Yankees, they suck. The Reds, they threw at McCutcheon's head. So that's Cardinals, piss on the Cardinals. They're good every year. I'm loving that they're like 20 games under 500 right now. It's amazing. And then the Brewers. The Brewers suck. I hate the Brewers. I hate that fucking stuff out there. It's a house of horrors. The Pirates, they go there. They get swept in a 4-game series every year. Screw the Brewers.
Did you say you hate the slide?
The slide. Have you ever seen that slide that they're
I've seen the slide. It was just so random. You're just like, I hate that stupid slide.
I hate that stupid slide.
Okay.
Stupid.
I
will say the Brewers have an amazing logo, though.
They do. I like the newer one with the glove.
The glove with the B
and
I don't like the annoyance that is just that baseball's turned into, where it's just like the letter of their city. And so I like the fact that there's a little bit more creativity to having the M and the B.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next. Probably let's move on to basketball. Let's say football for last because I feel like since the schedules came out today, we can talk about that.
I was going to say I'm still finishing these things up. I have NBA done, so I can go for NBA whenever.
All right, so we're moving to NBA. Let me grab my list here.
Mine's going to be the shortest list on this, and it's also going to be very contradictory. So,
yeah,
do you want to go first?
Yeah. So,
okay, we'll go. Kyle, go first.
I have one team on both lists, and it just so happens at this current time to be the same team because I grew up loving Kobe, so I was a big Lakers fan, and my hated list is any team that LeBron is on. So right now, it just so happens that it's the same team, but that's my list. I don't follow the NBA.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I get it. All right. All right. So my top are I am a LeBron James fan. I have been for a while, but I was also a huge Kobe Bryant fan. I haven't watched basketball forever. But I got the Lakers, the Cavs, and then the Bucks because of Giannis. And then the last two, just because I like their uniforms, the Jazz and the Suns. All right. My bottom five are the Clippers, the Celtics, the Wizards, the Knicks, and the Nets. I really don't have a.
The Nets are your least favorite team in basketball.
They're not my they're not my least favorite.
Oh, I thought
they're
they were
on my I didn't put them in any order. Those are my bottom five.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I thought you guys.
But the Nets because of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, that whole fiasco.
Yeah, how much did they win, and how many of those players are still on that team?
Exactly, but I still
exactly zero. So you can like them again.
Nope, still hate the Nets.
I hated them when they had all those players too, and then they didn't win. And
James, isn't that your favorite NBA team?
Barely, but yeah. But I'm about Kyle's level of watching the NBA. I don't think I've watched a full NBA game in probably 5 or 6 years.
Honestly,
yeah.
I might have watched a full game on like Christmas Day just because it's on.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like watching A Christmas Story for the 7th time.
That's why I watch Christmas Vacation.
Dude, I watch that every day leading up to Christmas.
There you go. Good enough.
So anybody else have a list for the NBA?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go. Sure. All right. So my favorite team is Celtics. Then the Bucks, the Bulls, the Lakers, and the Grizzlies.
I forgot about the Bulls.
Yeah, I like the Bulls. Then bottom, least favorite is New Orleans because they're the Pelican, and it's obnoxious.
Oh, come on. Give the Pelicans some credit. They never beat anybody.
Then I have the Heat because you're in Miami. It's hot. You called yourself the Heat. It's not original. A stupid name. Then we're going with Golden State because they're really good, and I'm not a dynasty fan unless it's Green Bay. And
I'm only a dynasty fan when they draft all of their players, and except for Kevin Durant, they've drafted the majority of their stars.
It's fair.
They really have.
And then, because I'm not a New York sports fan, the Knicks and the Nets.
Yep, I understand that completely. Yeah, Golden State was probably one of my 3 least favorite teams for a long time, but I respect them so much they've gone up into my favorite teams aisle. Backwards from 5 of my favorite, the Indiana Pacers, because they're the next local team outside of the Cavs. Phoenix Suns for no particular reason other than the fact that I have a bias for Arizona teams. Golden State is number 3. Cleveland is number 2, and Brooklyn is 1. Thanks to Dr. J a long, long time ago, and Jason Kidd a not so long time ago, but still long enough ago to where I have no allegiance to the NBA, so they've stuck. Least favorite teams, 76ers, Mavericks, New York Knicks because New York sucks, LA Lakers because LA also sucks, and the Boston Celtics are my least favorite basketball team.
All right, so my top 5 favorite NBA teams. Number 1, Celtics. Number 2, Minnesota Timberwolves, because my favorite player of all time is Kevin Garnett, And so when he went from the Timberwolves to the Celtics, that's kind of how I became a Celtics fan.
He played for the Nets too.
Yeah, but I don't like the Nets.
Fuck you. Kevin DeGarnett doesn't like you.
Eh. Number 3, the San Antonio Spurs, because I love Greg Popovich as a coach, and also Tim Duncan was one of my favorite players growing up. Number 4, the Utah Jazz, because their uniforms and their colors are just chef's kiss. And number 5, for the same reason, pretty much, the Denver Nuggets.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're talking about color schemes. That's why I have the Lakers on there. I'm a sucker for purple and yellow. I love that color scheme, which is another reason why, like, a team that I obnoxiously enjoy to watch in college football is LSU. Honest to God, for no other reason than their color scheme is why I like to watch them.
I feel like LSU does the purple and yellow better than
I think so.
LA, though.
Now, I'm not an LA Kings fan.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not an LA Kings fan at all. We'll get to that in a little bit when we get to hockey. I'm not an LA Kings fan, but I know they also did the purple and yellow for a hot minute.
Funny that you mentioned the Lakers, because my number 1 most hated team as a Celtics fan is obviously the Lakers. It can be no one else. Number 2, the Heat. Number 3, the Cavs. If you're picking up on a theme, if you're a LeBron James fan,
Fuck you, Jason.
You like all the Cleveland teams except the Cavs.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Do I need to break out my LeBron James jersey?
No. Number 4, the Bulls, and number 5, the Knicks. The Bulls simply because when they had Derrick Rose and all those guys back then, they would constantly meet Boston in the playoffs, and they were just such an annoying team to play against. So that's where that comes from. And the Knicks is just, well, the Knicks.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't have Chicago on my least favorite team, because it's not like they aren't good, and I'm not like an MJ hater or a hater of that team, but they just won so much that when you win so much and they're not a team you normally root for, like that definitely takes the stock down.
Yeah, and I mean my the reason why they're on my list for my top 5 hated is not because of Jordan and Pippen and all the championships. It's because as a Celtics fan, I saw them constantly every year in the playoffs, and it just was so annoying.
Also with the Bulls, Hawking Bulls, we weren't alive really then either. So you can't really be mad at something that you weren't alive for. Like, you can, I guess.
No,
you can. I mean, Jason was. That's why he hates the Lakers.
I was gonna say. I mean, my parents grew up, or when I was a baby, my parents would watch Michael Jordan all the time, and my dad rooted for the Bulls. Yeah. But that was.
Well, I mean, and we hate the Cowboys too. We hate the Cowboys.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Fans.
Well,
who says we hate the Cowboys?
I hate Cowboys.
Well, Mark, you're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
And like my thing with the Celtics, is like everyone in my family, like my dad has told stories about them going to what would be my great grandparents' house, and they would watch Celtics and Lakers when they were on, because that was during the Magic and Bird days, and when that rivalry was at its peak, and so kind of I mean it kind of just fell into place that's where my favorite player went, and also John Havlicek being a local guy also helped. So
here we go. NHL top 5: Penguins, the Dallas Stars, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hey, Bo, can you name a player on each of those teams?
Name one from Dallas.
Name one player from Dallas.
It could be from the 90s.
No, he doesn't play there anymore.
Penn.
Who?
No.
And it would be
Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn.
There
Jamie
you go.
Ben,
okay. Donald Penn. He played for the Dallas Stars.
UFC. BJ Penn. Okay. Penguins, Dallas Stars, Carolina Hurricanes, the Seattle Kraken, and the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah, can you name one player on each of the other 3 teams?
No, and I'm not going to. Okay, my bottom 5: Capitals, Rangers, Islanders, Devils, and Flyers.
Fair enough. All right, I'll go next. So top two are not surprising at all. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Columbus Blue Jackets. Then number 3 is Dallas Stars, simply because of Jason. And then my next two, and Amanda said I've never been a fan of these two teams, as Jason can attest I have been. Number 4 is Calgary Flames. Number 5 is Montreal Canadiens.
Well,
I don't get so we both of the first two lists have Columbus on them. And like in the other sports, I totally get like having the Columbus or the Ohio team on there, at least like Cleveland. But like fuck Columbus.
I love Columbus. I really do like Columbus a lot.
When have the Blue Jackets ever beaten the Penguins when it's mattered?
That's fair.
They're not competition. They are the Cleveland Browns. They have sucked for so long and not affected us in any way that it doesn't matter if they're in our
Brandon
division.
Dubinsky tried to take Crosby's head off.
Listen,
I don't remember that. I wasn't a hockey fan at that point.
I'm not worried about that, but Columbus, hands down, has one of my favorite uniforms and has my favorite logo. Not currently.
And they have an amazing arena district and arena that Pittsburgh could only wish to have because they haven't developed around PPG in 12 years. Oh, it pisses me off.
But
sorry,
story.
The powder blues with the cannon on them, sexy jersey.
The cannons are cool. I'm not a fan of powder blue, but the cannons are awesome.
The original Blue Jackets logo, the CBJ with the hockey stick, that's my favorite logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got even my least favorite.
Order matters here. Because I know you care. Order matters.
Number one, Washington Capitals.
Okay.
2, Boston Bruins. 3, the Detroit Red Wings because they're from Michigan. Number 4, Buffalo because I hate New York teams. And number 5, because I hate almost every team from Chicago, the Chicago Blackhawks.
How do you not have the Flyers?
I'd say that the Sabres in Buffalo is more of a Canadian team than a New York team. I
can agree.
Hot take. Buffalo is more of a Canadian city than a New York city.
Fair, but Buffalo still have What was your question? I need to readdress your question.
Flyers.
Oh, okay. So I don't have a problem with the Flyers, and I know everybody's like, "But you're a Penguins fan, you have to." But I don't. And Gritty is the best mascot in all of sports.
No, you are dumb. You are dumb.
I can't stand you.
I hate when Penguins fans say that.
I love Gritty. He is the best mascot.
Gritty is.
Hey, Mark. By the way, Jesper Fast, eat a dick.
For Fast,
he's a right winger for Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, are you playing NHL right now?
No, I'm on Wikipedia.
You mispronounced both of his names.
Exactly. That's why I don't.
Fast. No.
It's spelled Jesper. That's Jesper.
Jesper.
And then his last name is Fast. Fast. What am I supposed to call him? I can't stand you. Give your fucking list.
Bo, how do you pronounce the last name Roy?
Wow, I know. You say this every time we do an episode of this podcast. It gets old, Mark.
Patrick Roy.
Not for us that haven't been on it.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave the side of the road tomorrow.
All right. So my favorite NHL teams from 1 to 5. Obviously, Penguins.
What?
Yeah. Number 2, the Stars. Number 3, the Kraken. Number 4, the Winnipeg Jets. And number 5, the Colorado Avalanche.
I can tell you why he likes all of those teams. The last one is simply because of Nathan McKinnon. No.
I mean, yeah, but no, because I was a big Joe Sakic fan growing up, and
we need to have an episode one day. Just sidebar. We need to have an episode one day where we're just going to show Bo hockey player names, and Bo has to pronounce them.
Well, here, I'd probably be pretty bad about it too.
To return this, you can give me baseball player names, and I'll have to pronounce this.
No, I'll give you UFC fighter names
or soccer.
Ooh,
okay,
yeah, UFC would be good.
All right, I'm down.
UFC would be good.
My top 5 most hated teams in the NHL: the Boston Bruins, the Chicago Blackhawks, the New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, and St. Louis Blues.
Did you not have the Capitals on there?
No, And here's why I don't
I don't
have
have the caps on mine either, but they're pretty close.
Here's why I don't have the caps on mine. Look,
Jason.
look, those 3 playoff series, 16, 17, 18, those are some of my favorite memories of watching the Penguins,
Mhm.
just because all those games
Awesome
were
hockey.
so close and just amazing. And you have Sid and Ovi at the front of it. And I don't know. I have a lot of respect for them because I've seen them so many times. The Flyers can go kick rocks. I have zero respect for them. The Blues, I don't like them because they always beat the Stars. The Rangers can go kick rocks. The Blackhawks, they covered up a sexual assault scandal because winning was more important. So there's that. And the Bruins, because I cannot stand the Bruins and their players and their fans. I can't stand them. So there you go.
Me or you, James?
I can go. Okay, 5-1 on both. Okay, 5 the Canucks because they're the only I think Canadian team that I don't like kind of hate. Coyotes because I feel bad for them and they play in a tiny arena. The Blues because they're the closest team to me currently. The Blue Jackets because of similar reasons to Mark besides things that actually matter like jerseys and color and stuff. I just like the Blue Jackets and feel bad for them. And Pittsburgh, number 1. And my least favorite, starting with the least favorite, is Canadians. I just don't like the Canadians. The Rangers suck. The Flyers are awful and even worse. The Blackhawks are so bad, and the Bruins are my least favorite team in professional sports. And I do not have the Capitals, but I think they're 6th.
If anyone took this out of context and just heard James and cut James's soundbite to "I just hate the Canadians," then
no, Gordon Lightfoot, I loved him.
We're canceling James.
We just need to take that soundbite and just make James's face.
Yeah, me using the slur Canuck and then me saying I hate Canadians.
They're a bunch of Canucks.
Oh, shit. All right, real quick for me. Favorite, I have the Minnesota Wild. A lot of Pittsburgh connections there with Bill Guerin and the players that we've traded there.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Sabres, I love their color scheme. I love their uniforms. They've sucked for years, so you hate them. Seattle, they're a lot of fun right now. Again, a lot of former Penguins. Probably shouldn't be, but there are. Colorado Avalanche, Nathan McKinnon. You can't dislike him. Gabriel Landeskog too. I've always liked.
He didn't play this year. It made me sad.
Well, and he's not going to play next year either.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So hopefully he can come back eventually.
Yeah, Landeskog's having massive knee surgery coming up. And then the Penguins, number 1, and then least favorite, number 5, Boston. Brad Marchand. I just hope his nose gets obliterated sometime in the near future.
It'd be cool if he didn't have one eventually.
I hate that nose. The Islanders.
He's the one that was licking people?
Yeah.
People.
He's the rat.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty sure that's who it was, but.
Yeah. The Islanders, there's just a lot of bad blood there for the Penguins.
Yeah.
The Rangers.
Yeah. Forgot the Islanders.
The Islanders.
Didn't. They were right ahead of the Caps.
The night in like 2011 where the teams ended up with like 3 players on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
The Rangers obviously are just. Although for the Rangers, when Henrik Lundqvist, the goalie, when we like broke him in 2016, that was just amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Broke
his. That was the first time I ever saw Pittsburgh beat Lundqvist.
Yeah, and then we just like put 7 goals on him in like multiple games, and he got pulled. Like they broke his psyche in 16. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I have the Flyers at 2 because there just hasn't been as many series against the Flyers as there were the Capitals. That's why the Capitals were 1.
Yeah.
Flyers are 2. We'll never see greater hockey theater than the 2012 Flyers Penguins series.
Oh God! Don't remind me of that, man.
Just Granato and Flyers coach at the time,
Laviolette.
just up on the bench screaming at each other.
Well, that wasn't even. Remember, that wasn't even in that series. That was still regular.
No, that was the week before. Yeah,
because they played they had a home and home before the playoff series. So
they played 8 straight games against each other.
Yeah. That series, I didn't watch a lot of hockey, but obviously growing up when everybody did watch it around me, that's the reason I can't stand when Peter Laviolette comes back to Wheeling. I know he was Wheeling's coach, but my gosh, I just hate Peter Laviolette with a passion.
Yeah. No, that series in the 2 games leading up to it, those are just insane.
Yeah.